tea time with
Keli?
See?
and Lee. So what's the tea? So we loved it so much that I got them to read another Fantastical Element by a different author. And Kimberly Lemming was one of the first to ever do it. And so Meads and Mishaps, she published as an indie author, and they recently got picked up and are now traditionally published. So we read the first book in that series, which is I
got drunk and accidentally
saved a demon. Yeah.
Thank you. I got drunk and accidentally saved a demon. Yes, thanks. So that's the book we read, and that followed Cin and Fallon, or Cinnamon and Fallon. And what did you ladies think about that one?
So that one had a different vibe, but I enjoyed it just as much. So like I felt like that one gave more cozy vibes than Demon Boyfriend, but in all the right ways. Y'all know I don't really do cozy, but like the family element in that one,
yeah.
I was just like, all here. That's the vibe I got. Like the band of misfits.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I loved that, and then again, but it still had that same draw that we had before. Like, you're my person, and I'm yours, you're mine. I'm gonna be patient with you, but yeah, like it was. And so I think I needed, because y'all know me, I'm a smut bucket. Like, I think I need to know that it exists. And so I think that's why I needed that other book first, because it was just the heat. And now I'm receptive. I'm like, oh wow, I can even read something that's not as aggressive, but then let's not
just not as aggressive.
Yeah, let's be clear.
Yeah, let's be clear.
It goes down. But I was just like, okay.
I don't agree, because it started off and I was like, this don't seem like it's finna be it.
Because I wanted more porn. That's what I wanted.
It's because the first book she was riding the horns in the second chapter.
We didn't have no anxiety in that one.
None.
But in this one, it was a little bit.
And I'm not a big fan of slow burns, but I was feeling it.
Yes, once Cinnamon was on her way tipsy, and a neighbor was trying to rob her, and then she heard somebody moaning, and then he looked up at her with yellow eyes and was like, "I'm gonna eat you." Life was running her life. I said, "Okay, maybe we got something now."
My favorite thing is she saved him, and he was like, "Okay, run." And she's like, "Huh? Run." Like, it's not proper for me to try to hurt you after you just saved my life. So I am a head start.
And I love a hunter. So when I saw that part, I was like, "Oh, this is getting good." Like that could have went on. He could have chased her for days, and I would have been eating it up. It didn't last that long, but it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. But no, like I did. I enjoyed it, and but I think to me, those are the kind of books that make me. Because some people like, whatever. I'm a person like I try to finish whatever I'm gonna start. Not the series, but I do want to find a book. And there's people like, I just don't like fantasy. I'm like, no, I'm convinced that there's something out there in every genre that I could enjoy. And this is why. Because if I was just so hell-bent on not reading fantasy, like, I would have missed out on some good reads. Do I like all fantasy? But like I said, I'm learning, like, high fantasy versus this, that, and the other. So I'm like, yeah, you need to try other genres because there's good stuff out there. Like, you will genuinely enjoy it. You just got to find what it is you like. So I haven't done the rom-com one yet. I haven't read that one, but I was just like, I'm so glad that I was like diligent in saying I'm going to keep trying fantasy type books because it's got to be out there, and it is out there.
And I think
Page and Kimberly Lemming are writing them.
2 in a row you've liked. I think you really like Fantastical Elements because it's also, the author's also able to insert cultural things that we pick up. Like, for example, Cin's mom getting all the kids' names mixed up Because what was it? Cin, cumin, like they were all named after spices.
Yes.
She was like, Cin, I need cumin, I need, you know who I
Second son.
Yeah.
And then the whole family just falls out laughing. Because it's like, yes, second son. How does it feel?
Want to talking too. Yeah, very much.
I think the cultural piece that stuck out the most for me, and maybe everyone won't pick up on it because it's not huge, but we all know about wash day, right? It's major. So when they were in that lake and he was like, he went back to get all of her stuff. He was like, I saw you with this stuff. He's like, let me wash your hair. And then like, he didn't just wash it, but he conditioned it. He detangled it.
Right.
But all he needed was a bonnet and it just would have been the best thing.
Or a silk scarf.
And so like that, it was just because it was intimate.
Yes.
And so I was like, but again, maybe everyone who reads it won't pick up on that. But I'm like, wash day is huge. It's huge. And you can't just wash your hair.
Anybody in your hair.
And he took the time to do it right.
Because she was ready. She was, okay. That's one of these. All right.
So yeah, that was probably one of my favorite little moments. But then I think that's when the anxiety started to set in. So I was like, y'all need to get to it already. Because I'm tired of waiting.
Well, you know, Cin was me because she said, oh, you're a what? A demon. Oh, no. You're telling everything but a demon.
Yeah. She wasn't
able to do it.
She was like, I don't know. I've only been with humans. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Me and Cinnamon was the same in that area.
But you know what? He sure broke her down.
What?
All the way down.
Crack that back.
All the way down.
What I enjoyed about Fallon was once she beat him up with that cinnamon branch and he came to his senses and he was like, well, I need to do this so that I can be regular like all the time. She was like, bet, let's do this and you can be on your way. They go on their adventure, they get it done. She's like, all right, bye. He's like, psych. You're actually gonna come with me.
But wait, there's more.
Like, no, I'm not.
So when they did the quest and it went well, I was like, there got to be a catch.
So that's it.
Oh yeah, we got to do that 4 more times. There's
and the problem was she told him that. She was like, okay, so you about to go to the other temples. And he was like, there's more temples? It's like, oh man. I should have just did this.
She said, thank you and have a blessed day, is what you should have said.
Y'all know he would have came back for that girl as soon as he figured out there was more temples. And she would have got in trouble.
Regardless. He was already, once she hit him with that cinnamon branch, he was in love already. Woke up the next morning. Hey mama, how you doing? This is what a demon look like.
I love when he falls first.
Like, absolutely.
I felt like in the first book we talked about, I felt them falling like simultaneously.
Yeah, in my mind, it was he falls first. Because I remember that's what I put in my post.
But in my mind, it was more so like, we're mated together. Like, there's this pool and I just can't fight it and I'm going to stop trying. That's very different than, I felt like Fallon wanted to fall for Cin. Like, it was like they was down at the lake and he was watching her wash her hair. He was watching her make her swamp stews and he just
swamp
like
spiders. Yeah.
Swamp spider.
He just couldn't help but to fall for this girl. I don't know. I could just feel it coming off the page, but it also was cozier, so it probably felt easier.
Very cozy.
You know,
cozy done well. And then I will say, a book that can make me laugh, because I laughed in that book, and a book that can bring the spice, also be cozy. I think what was also unique about this one is that it does have some of those, I think, traditional fantasy elements, and keep me honestly, because it had that undertone about you've been being lied to this whole time. This person who y'all have been worshiping. So like, and then it has this like political undertone. It's like
political intrigue.
Yeah. So I'm like,
yeah,
it still brought in that fantasy element that I think a fantasy lover would love, because it's like, okay, ooh, this thing that has been like your protection. You find out like, no, she's been okie doking you from day one. And she's actually literally the devil. So it's like, so then and I was still intrigued. So it's like there were so many things going on, but it wasn't chaotic. I was fully invested waiting for them to get through this slow burn. I was fully invested in them trying to go through this quest to get through and fix everyone. And then I was like, the social injustice part, like when they get to the second town and they are like basically an oppressed people and like the whole collar situation, I slowed down a bit at that point because I was like, is this book gonna piss me off?
Right. What?
A collar? What?
A collar on your demon. What?
And she said, excuse me? And they're like, yeah. What do you mean? So I think that was a great thing to layer in there. It wasn't just hee ha ha's and bumping uglies. It was like, no, this is still a fantasy.
And so I will say that about Kimberly Lemming books. While they're a great time, she's always, there's something to get out of it. She's saying something, right? Whether it's about like the book I just read about, the rom-com one was like, we're always going on life, taking life so serious, but like you can look up and then 20 years went by, you haven't been living your life, right? So I felt like in this book, there was a social justice, to your point, Keli, and it was just like this political intrigue that was like, it was there, it was present, and you were able to grasp and pick up on it.
Yeah. I'm learning. See, I'm a good pupil. I'm learning.
You are a very good pupil, and dare I say, I will not accept you saying that you're still looking for fantasy books you like. You found fantasy books you like. You like fantastical elements. Okay.
So I'm looking for that in a fantasy. I'm looking for one that hits, like we talked about, like those CCJs, like, you got to read this. Like, no, you don't like that. You got to read this one. This is so this or that. And so the one that we talked about, which I have it in my cart, I need to go ahead and order because I am going to get the physical copies of it.
Are we reading that? But I don't know what it's called.
The John Gwynn books? Or that's what you're talking about?
Yeah, those are the ones that I committed to reading all three.
The ones with the dragons on the cover.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you committed to? What if we hate the first one?
She committed to it. Listen, first of all, though, I've been seeing amazing reviews, so I doubt I'm going to hate it. But even if it was a 0.25 star, I'm going to read every book. Just because Linda promised.
And so I'm not going to be the fake. I'm like, yeah, I read it. She's going to be like, what happened in chapter 23?
I'll be like, one quick 27 paragraph to mine.
In our buddy chat reads comment section, and she kicked me out of a chapter. She's like, T, get away from here. I know you didn't read that fast. You don't know me.
Who was this?
Lee. When we were reading Losing Control, you were like, T, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I just wanted to see what you're going to say. You're like, no, go away.
I probably did that.
Were you trying to skip ahead?
Yes, because Lee went from like chapter 6. I think that was the time you were on the plane and you couldn't add notes, and then you jumped into chapter 20. And I was like, well, what happened? I mean, what's going on?
And see, for me, anytime I feel like you've gotten ahead, I have just told myself, oh, this is a reread. That's why she's getting ahead. And all this time you haven't been okie doking me, and I didn't even realize. I'm like, oh, this must be another reread for T. This is why I know she's on chapter 8, but she's asking me about chapter 15. So I'm going to pay closer attention. But spoilers don't bother me. Like, I'm still going to read it.
Get out of here. I was like, okay.
Well, ladies, I have a few questions about this Kimberly Lemming book. So if this book got
before we go to questions, can I ask y'all a question? At the end of this book, at the beginning, they've had their going away festival for the warriors that are going to go slay the demons and give us another 10 years of freedom, right? And then at the end, if Cinnamon and her crew never showed up, what was going to happen to them? They was just going to die?
Tawny is going to be the death of me.
I think he looks like whatever you want him to look like. Because I don't feel like, and I could be wrong, I don't have the book up in front of me. I feel like she described his like muscles and his build and his height. Never really like the exact color of his skin. That's the thing about fantastical elements. They're monsters, right? That's really left up to your imagination. She described like his hair texture, but I don't feel like we got, like, I feel like it's meant to be, he looks like who you want him to be. Like, in the same way, there is a certain fictional male character in a popular book that T sees as a dark-skinned man with neck tats. That's T's business. That's how T sees him in her mind. I think
That's what he looks like.
I think Fallon can look like, I'm gonna tell you who I cast. I'm casting Kyla Pratt as Cin, and I'm casting Lance Gross as Fallon. I said what I think. That's who they are in my mind. And
You know what's funny? That's Lance Gross is wildly different than who I was gonna say. Because
I would not have said Lance Grace. I mean, and he's delicious. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
I'll take 25 of them. But like,
I feel it, to me, it felt very Aaliyah and Jet Li and Romeo must die.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was in my mind, I have an Asian.
So I'm okay with it. I like that. Yeah.
So that's what I was like. So for me, like, and y'all know I'm not good at the visuals. That's why. So every time we read a book, usually around 30%, I'm like, Lee, give me a visual. I need to see, because my mind is not good at this. So I feel like I can't cast it. But in my mind, the male character is definitely, Fallon is multicultural with Asian in him. And he's jacked, like, just for no good reason, kind of jacked. Like, why do you have the V and a 12-pack kind of jacked up? Like, just that guy.
And all I see you eat is 2 oranges in the morning and a bowl of cherries at night. It's the food.
And so who I want to play Cinnamon doesn't fit the body type,
I
but
want my Cinnamon to be thicker, but I can't think of anyone that has the like the wits.
right. And so who I want to play her, but she's just not the body type, is Abbott Elementary. What is her name?
oh, I know.
What is her name? And I know. I'll have to look it up real quick.
The art teacher?
Quinta.
Quinta.
Yeah, I want, because I feel like she has that quick wit. Like, I feel like her personality, I can see
Quinta's
that.
a beanie little thing.
But she's just so petite. So I feel like I need that personality and candor.
Yeah.
Just in a full.
Oh, can I pick a non-actor person?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know her, but she's an internet cousin on YouTube. Her name is Evelyn from the Internets. She is witty, okay, hilarious, and I think that would be more visually who I would pick for Cinnamon. Like, sir, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm thinking her. Okay. Yep. And even with the hair wraps on and stuff, I feel like she's even giving that vibe. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Fine. I have another question for you.
Okay.
If we were going to give Fallon a theme song, because he's giving grumpy sunshine and like gruffy, mean, what theme song would you give him?
I feel like I gotta go look and see which one did I pick one for him already?
Wait, what do you have?
Listen. Friend, trying to get that money. Yes. He was hunting her. He was quite literally.
I'm not mad at that choice. I am not mad at that choice. I would second that choice, actually.
That's a good choice. I think you won that round. That's it.
Yeah.
Y'all like how I second like David Banner?
Yes.
You did your big one on that one. That's exactly. Because you're intrigued, because you're leaning in a little bit, but you're also slightly scared, right?
Right.
It's like, I don't know if I have the appropriate response to this, but I like it. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
No, it's a chill one.
Okay, so I have one more question for y'all for this round. So this book and Kimberly in general are known for having spicy moments. Um, can you rate this from a scale of a toasted marshmallow to like not that much spice to full blown inferno? What would you give it?
So toasted marshmallow would be like a 1 to a 5. I would give it a solid 4, and that's
Exploding marshmallow catches on fire.
because to me, what takes romance or spice to another level is anytime you layer in any kind of kink. Like if it's not just, passion. And so when he ties her hands to the headboard and was like, I know you're struggling with this. Let me take the burden off of you. You shackle me. I was just like, okay, I'm here for it. So yeah, anytime. So, and I just, like I said, that just does it for me personally. So yeah, I would say probably like right around a 4, like a 4 out of 5 on the spice, because I feel like there's a couple times where they just sprinkled in a little bit of the kink in there, and
Yeah, it was really delicious. I mean,
I'm gonna eat that up every time.
every time.
Um,
What also did it was that was after a very gory, bloody battle. She's
Yeah.
like, child, I just need a bath. He was like, I know what else you need.
Let me tell you what you actually need.
Because you need to get some good rest. So let me help you out with it.
And you keep playing. So let me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find that line. Like when he was like, it was just the way Fallon was spitting game. It was making me mad because I'm like, I'd fall for it. I'd fall for it too. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 3. It would have been a 4 until I read another book by Kimberly again.
Well, you
I
can't
pulled up.
do that.
I am, because I pulled up the title, so I say it right. I got abducted by aliens. Now I'm trapped in a rom-com.
Oh, we
I
just
just
said
thought
that.
this one was a 4 out of 5. But when I read that, I said, "Oh, Kimberly, you're nasty." And so I was like,
That was the 2-for-1 special, right?
Peruta and the Tudor. It was nasty.
But I will like to say, Leah, I gotta call you out on this because I feel like it's egregious, and you have got to stop changing your star ratings on a book after you read another book.
Yes.
Oh, to be fair, I didn't change
No.
my star rankings. I changed my spice level.
Don't change anything, because your vibe was your vibe.
Yes.
And then you go back and you're like, that's like being like, oh, I love this food, it's so good. And then you get another meal, it's like, well, it wasn't that good. No, it was still good. You was vibing.
I enjoyed it.
You
You still
enjoyed it.
text us in a group chat and say, y'all, this was good. So,
Okay. So, fine. It was still a 4 in the spicy. I just realized that she was
she
spicy.
could pick it up another time.
She can notch it up a bit, which is fine. I will give you that. But you be wanting to go back and be like, because you do that in book club sometimes too, and be like, well, I feel like I can't give this a 4 because I get no. Give it say it with your chest.
Damn.
Give it what you gave it.
But on the flip side, sometimes the opposite happens. Sometimes we'll read a certain book by certain authors about weddings and dates, and then I'll be like, wait a second, I gave you a 3 in the spice. I'm gonna go back and give you a 5 in the spice because I read with a lower spice.
Where's there spice? Black pepper? We calling that spice?
I don't even think it was that.
My purpose was I do it in both directions, okay?
I mean, I feel like you remember star ratings more than anybody, and maybe because in book club you're the one who writes them down and stuff. Because I can't remember what book it was, and I know we're off topic now, but so I won't go on the episode. But I was like, "Oh,
I'm
this
so
is
sad these pieces don't be making it in. I'm like, well, it's a whole good conversation. They just cut it out.
well." I like the one I mark up. I'll still mark it for content.
Okay, y'all. So rapid fire, no explanations, just this or that.
I'm horrible.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Would you rather have Fallon's powers or Cin's cooking skills?
What? Girl, give me Fallon's power.
You know we like powers.
Yeah. I like to eat, though, but I'm going to take the powers.
Well, see, I'm going to be like Fallon did and find me somebody who can cook. And cook me some swamp spiders.
Cook me some swamp spiders.
Well, then this is going to be easy then. Would you share a drink with Fallon or have one of Cin's meals?
I'd have one of Cin's meals.
Because we're on an adventure. I gotta have my strength.
Honestly, the way Fallon was describing her cooking, I need to taste some of this.
Yeah, correct.
And at the end of the day, if I'm with Fallon, I don't want to be drinking
The
nothing.
way I know Sin can cook because the way Fallon was drooling over that mama pancakes in the morning. So she got a great teacher.
And then it was the fact that it wasn't like, oh, she packed her spice. It was like, she was like, no, I need to go get every spice because if you think I'm going to be on this road with you, sir, and
Food.
that's the thing. Like, we are literally trying to save the world here. And she's like, but wait, let me go get my multi-layered skirt and hide my seats.
Because if it's in my pocket somewhere, I know it.
I just imagine her just hoisting up her skirts like it's in. So yeah, I would definitely want one of her meals because I was like, swamp spiders. Sounds really good.
It sounded like a gumbo to me. I was like, I'm going to taste some of that.
Yes. Swamp spider me now, please. Thank you.
Okay, so last question. If you could make this book and turn it into another genre, what would that genre be?
Dark romance.
Dark romance.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I answer too fast? I'm sorry.
About this, huh?
Let me change any book into any genre. It will always be dark romance.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like it. I'm agree.
Yeah, I would have made it a little darker. And y'all already know, when he came out of the swamp or the river, instead of him saying run, right? He should have pretended like everything was good. Thank you, ma'am. And then he should have kidnapped her later. Yeah. Should have turned it into a good old soft kidnapping.
Baby E is going to come across this footage one day. It's going to be like, I don't know who you are, woman.
And at that moment, I want y'all to remind her as her aunts, your mom was just a girl. She was just a girl.
At the end of the day. At the end of the day.
In the world.
And she likes what she likes.
And
what she likes.
What she likes.
Is a soft kidnap.
Got here somehow, friend.
And your mama wasn't kidnapped, though, so...
Well, y'all, that is why I absolutely love Fantastical Elements, and I'm so excited that I got Kalindra and T-Quasia who completely immerse themselves in this world. I am 2 for 2. I'm so excited to suggest more. We're about to start reading the second book in that Jessica Cage series about the vampire. And if you have any other books that would fall in the Fantastical Elements category, please comment below and put them in the comments.
We need them all.
We would love to read them. So, that was Tea with
Keli,
T,
and Lee.